Welcome to the 3x5 news, views, and reviews. Scribbled on index cards. We get in and we get out fast, so keep up. Show Ukraine the money. What is the European Union waiting for? It holds approximately $300 billion in frozen Russian central bank assets in a clearinghouse or financial middleman in Belgium. If moved to Ukraine, it could give the defense of their country a huge boost. Currently, the EU has begun spending the assets generated by the interest on those funds on aid for Ukraine. This approach is considered legally safer and is estimated to provide around $3.24 billion annually, but that is a pittance. For its part, Russia must have known it was forfeiting the money when it invaded. But instead of viewing it as the cost of doing business, in that phrase so popular these days, it may have counted on getting it back after the war. So why hasn't the European Union, with each country needing time and its own money to ramp up their own defense industries, transferring, never mind just the interest, but the principal on those funds to Ukraine? It seems so obvious. But nothing, especially that amount of money, not to mention war, is ever that simple. According to AI, the reasons that the EU is still sitting on those funds include: 1. While some legal scholars argue Russia's aggression justifies it, international law generally prohibits a nation's assets from being permanently seized. So what, you say? We will circle back to that question. That brings us to our second point. EU countries worry that confiscating Russian assets could discourage other nations from keeping their money in European banks. China could be afraid that in the event that conflicts happens with it in the West, the same thing could happen to them. Third, such an action needs unanimous consent from all the member states. Countries like Poland, Estonia, and Lithuania, that are most vulnerable to Russian invasion, are in favor of releasing these funds to Ukraine, while others are concerned about the precedent it sets. But again, so what? Why are they worrying about this in such dire times? Ukraine is fighting on the front lines of a war for Europe's very survival. Forget about international law for just one moment, like not only Russia, but the US does. Forget about the legal niceties, as well as concerns that China won't invest in Europe. If Ukraine loses this war, Europe will be fundamentally changed, meaning parts of it will wind up in war with Russia or becoming part of Russia, especially with the US sidelining itself. They will be sorry that they parsimoniously parceled out these funds. If ever there was a time to ask forgiveness and not permission, as the saying goes, it's now. Confiscate the damn assets already and transfer them to Ukraine.